Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von Star Trek Resurgence. Ich will immer Stargate sagen. In der letzten Folge haben wir den Botschafter, den diplomatischen Botschafter Spock haben wir auf unser Schiff geholt, beziehungsweise das rotierende, verlorene Schiff sozusagen aufgesammelt. Und jetzt müssen wir ein bisschen diplomatisch arbeiten. Mal gucken, wie es wird. Oder ob wir aus Versehen einen Krieg auslösen. Hey, was soll's, dann hauen wir das ab. Ja, nicht unser Problem. Navigationsprobleme.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Die wird jetzt singen.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
Ach, du schuldest mir gar
You
nichts.
did the smart thing.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Nee, das will ich
Okay.
nicht sagen.
At the very least,
Aber du
maybe
schuldest
I can
mir
track
nicht.
down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Okay. So, ich hätte jetzt einfach mal... lass es mal alles durchchecken, ja. Die
Oh.
Systeme...
I know about your talk with Miranda.
Was?
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
Bist du sauer?
And I know you'll respect that.
Are you upset?
Not on your life, Diaz. But you need to be careful. I like my friends and I like our group. I don't want to lose that.
Verständlich.
Is that thing done?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Ja, dann lest den Datenrekorder mal aus. Halt.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Lass uns doch die Warnung mal angucken.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
Okay.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Gucken wir uns alles an.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
Noch mehr
And
Fehler.
look, there's another warp system alert.
Ja, dann lass uns doch mal gucken.
They're all the same. Subspace variants out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this.
Ich
One of
nehm
these
die
systems
Warpspule.
is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Ist ja cool, dass man sich das aussuchen kann, was man kontrolliert und den Rest macht, das andere macht sie. Dein Trirecorder kann Daten aufzeichnen und analysieren. Wenn du ihn benutzt, wirst du zuvor ungesehene Dinge entdecken. Benutze 2, um deinen Trirecorder hervorzuholen oder zurückzustecken. Halte Maustaste gedrückt, um leuchtende Objekte zu scannen. Du musst nah an manchen Objekten sein, um sie scannen zu können. Achte auf den Rand des Bildschirms, um zu sehen, ob du zu weit weg bist. Okay. Ich nehme die Nummer 2. Cool. Ach, guck mal da. Manche Dinge, die du scannst, aktivieren einen Tiefenscan. Benutze während des Tiefenscans Q und E, um zwischen verschiedenen Scan-Modi hin und her zu wechseln und nach leuchtenden Objekten zu suchen. Die Modusanzeiger auf der Tricorder blinkt, wenn es ein Objekt in dem Modus zu finden gibt. Also was? Tricorder Modusanzeige blinkt, okay. Wenn du alle Objekte gescannt hast, ändert sich die Farbe des Rahmens. Halte dann rechte Maustaste gedrückt, um die Daten zu analysieren. Oh Gott, ob ich mir das merke. Warte mal, ich soll ja scannen. Hier ist doch was. Okay, hier. Okay. Da ist nichts. Auch nicht. Irgendwie habe ich es noch nicht ganz gecheckt. Die Führungsspulen zeugen von, was? Routinearbeiten. Zentrale Spulen leiten Warp durch die Energie. Ja, das wissen wir ja. Aber irgendwas fehlt noch. Ist gar nicht so leicht hier. Achso, da kann ich das jetzt wegstecken. Ach, Scan abschließen. Mein Gott.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Hey.
Hallo.
I'm not here.
Beachte mich einfach nicht.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No, but I am glad you came by.
Now that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go.
Na dann. High Five oder Küsschen aufs Nüsschen?
Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now. More important.
Küssen, 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 küssen. Komm, wir knutschen, knutschen. Ich dachte, wir gehen es zwar langsam an, aber hey, ein Küsschen.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You've got a deal.
Be seeing you.
Tüdelü.
Etzelar Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go.
Ja, ich mach schon. Mach mal keinen Stress.
All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, vielleicht ist ja irgendwas im System drin.
Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Okay, mal gucken, vielleicht sehen wir da ja nochmal was anderes.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Da müsste... Ja, genau.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure return non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustainable.
Echt jetzt?
We can't leave Hotari space.
Ist das jetzt ein Hack oder was? Oder wie oder was oder wo? Friedensgespräche.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind, and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Die sehen schon ein bisschen hochnäsig aus, ne?
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
I think we're about to begin.
Auf welche Seite? Also wenn wir uns wirklich auf eine Seite schlagen müssen? Tja.
I don't know what we're walking into here, but that guy was something.
Wir bleiben für alles offen.
That may be true.
Wir sollen neutral
Let's keep
bleiben.
an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
Korrekt. Respekt, immer schön respektieren.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war!
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
Dies ist eine harte Verhandlung. Ich kann es nicht mal lesen.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Nein.
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliard?
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Toll. Also wenn es abläuft, habe ich trotzdem noch die Wahl, so wie ich gerade gesehen habe. Wird der dann bloß grau und stopp? Mich jetzt neutral verhalten, wenn ich die Möglichkeit habe, ich möchte mich jetzt nicht für eine Seite entscheiden, wer wie was schuld ist.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliard, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliard is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliard suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Naja, prinzipiell Frieden.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation
Jetzt
rhetoric.
geht es nur um Frieden, spielt eine Rolle. Es steht mir nicht zu, darüber zu urteilen.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's really not my place to say what the Federation's interests might be.
You are their representative.
I am. But Ambassador Spock is better suited to address your concerns.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines.
Aber die stellen sich ganz schön als Wohltäter da, ne?
Centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
Ey, ich will mich nicht entscheiden. Willst du mich verarschen?
Only be one or the other, not both.
Also prinzipiell, erstens ist es der Mond der Hotari. Das heißt im Endeffekt, die betreiben die Minen ja schon ewig. Dann sollen sie es auch weiter betreiben. Aber die Aldianer haben denen die Technologie gegeben, damit die auch von ihrem Mond wegkommen. Damit die selber eine Weltraummacht werden können, beziehungsweise interstellar oder selbst doch interstellar reisen können. Boah. Ich will mich für keine Seite entscheiden müssen, ey. Ist das für ein Bullshit? Ich würde gerne den neutralen Weg, weil, wie gesagt, wir sind eigentlich hier, um Frieden zu stiften. Und ich will mich jetzt nicht entscheiden müssen, wieso, weshalb, warum. Warum eigentlich also wir sollen ja, unser Auftrag war ja von Spock dann, dass wir uns dann irgendwo untermogeln, sage ich jetzt mal so, dass wir herausfinden, wieso das so gekommen ist, wie es gekommen ist. Warum haben die Alydianer das Mining von den Hotari übernommen und haben die das nicht alleine machen lassen? Warum? Wie kommt es dazu? Das würde mich mal interessieren. Und deshalb haben ja die Hotari, wenn ich es richtig mitgekriegt habe, die Aldianer angegriffen. Was ja eigentlich, in Anführungsstrichen, ihr Recht ist, weil die ja in ihre Gefilde eingegriffen haben. Ich sage jetzt mal, ohne zu fragen. Ich würde mich jetzt einfach mal für die Aldianer entscheiden. Einfach nur, weil ich bei denen rausfinden will, warum die Minen von denen übernommen haben. Ihr könnt mir ja mal, schreibt mir mal bitte in die Kommentare, wer bis hierhin geguckt hat, für welche Seite hättet ihr euch entschieden und warum, wäre ganz cool. Ja, ich entscheide mich jetzt einfach mal für die Aldianer.
If there can only be one, then it would be in the best interest of all involved if the Illydians resumed operation of the mines.
And that is why we should not trust our fate to the Federation.
She speaks sense. You do well to listen to her.
And you do well to hold your tongue.
We will take back our minds by any means necessary.
And you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I would agree, Ambassador Spock. I think this is best left to those of us with more experience in diplomatic matters.
Natürlich. Der braucht mich gar nicht so angucken. Der weiß gar nicht. Der hätte sich auch entscheiden müssen für eine Seite. Tja Leute, aber wie es weitergeht, das erfahrt ihr in der nächsten Folge von Star Trek Resurgence. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst mir doch einen Daumen nach oben und ein Abo da. Dann verpasst ihr keine zukünftigen Folgen mehr und ihr unterstützt natürlich mich und meinen Kanal und helft mir, damit mein Kanal weiter wächst. Haut rein, bis zum nächsten Mal.